Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to tonight's basketball broadcast here on 100.9 FM WCMP. We are in Hinckley for this boys basketball game between the Hinckley-Finlayson Jaguars and the Braham Bombers. I'm Ethan Game Day Gilman. I'll be bringing you all the action from this evening's game between these two teams. Should be a good one. Of course, the Jaguars hosting the Bombers tonight here at Hinckley-Finlayson High School. Looking at the Braham Bombers coming into this game, they are 1-1. They lost their first game of the season against Malacca in Malacca, 65-30. A tough outing there. Malacca last year really had a very good year. They upset Pine City last year in again, it was an upset. A lot of people expected Pine City to win that game. They've had Malacca's number for a while, but Malacca came out and won that game. So Malacca looks to be going off that energy and that toughness that they had last year to this year and continue it. Then they won last night, did Braham against Floodwood, 86-58. Now, I always wonder how a team is going to do when they play two nights in a row. When you come off especially a big win, I think it definitely helps when you get a win. Not only your first win of the season, but you get that first win of the season at home, and then it's a big win like they had last night, nearly a 30-point win, a 28-point victory over Floodwood last night for these Braham Bombers who are visiting the Hinckley-Finlayson Jaguars here this evening. So I always wonder kind of how is the team going to be feeling? How are they going to be doing? How exhausted will they be? It's still early on in the season, so you might see some guys get a little bit more time in and out, might see more substitutions than you normally would during the season because, again, these Braham Bombers played last night against Floodwood, a very good game, but you might not see them substitute because they did have a pretty big lead, so maybe they were able to get some of their second guys or, their other guys from the bench in a little bit more due to it being such a large margin of victory last night for Braham. So we'll see how it goes tonight. Of course, again, still early on in the season. These players from both sides are going to have fatigue of some sort this early on in the season because, you've only had about a week and a half to 2 weeks of practicing, and you haven't played a game for Hinckley-Finlayson anyways. For Braham, you've played two, and sometimes that can get you into the flow of things, but you're really not quite in game shape just yet. I think coaches talk about that third or fourth game. That's when you really start to get into game shape. So not that these athletes haven't been training all throughout the offseason, and of course a lot of these guys played in some fall sports, whether it was football, cross country. They definitely were participating in the fall sports, but should be a good one here tonight. Hinckley-Finlayson, as I mentioned, hasn't played a game yet this winter sports season. Their JV did win that game just before this against Braham, 47-37, so their JV got the victory. Looking to do much of the same is their varsity team here this evening. But again, Hinckley-Finlayson, this will be their first test of the brand new season as they are 0-0. They ended last year at 8-11, 7-6 in the conference, but they did lose to Braham 3 times last year, twice in overtime. They did win their first playoff game at home against IL 51-47. Then they ended the regular season on a 3-1 stretch, so a good stretch for them. As I mentioned, they did finish the playoffs in an overtime game in Braham against the Bombers, where Braham got the victory in that game. The Hinckley-Finlayson Jaguars finished one spot behind Braham in the conference standings last year. Very good conference record here for Hinckley-Finlayson last year. This is always a tough conference to compete in. Every single team is always a tough opponent, as are these two. And these two last year, man, they were some good games these two played in. Even the one that didn't go into overtime was still a great game. Moving over to Braham, the visiting Braham Bombers, they finished last year 13-7, 11-3 in their section. In the first round of the playoffs, again, they won over Hinckley-Finlayson in overtime, 74-62. They would go on to face Uppsala in the second round. They fell to Uppsala 62-57. They finished fourth in conference play last year at 9-5 behind Rush City, East Central, and Pine City, who took the conference just because they had one more than East Central. Otherwise, East Central and Pine City would have shared that conference crown, but since Pine City had 11 wins to 2 losses and East Central had 10 wins to 2 losses, Pine City took the conference. Braham has a couple of less conference games, as do everyone in this Great River Conference, due to the fact that Onamia and Isle have now become the Mille Lacs co-op of the Raiders. So this year they will play against a bunch of the teams they played against last year, and they'll play against a bunch of teams who they had either close games with or games that went into overtime, one of them being Rush City. Now they will play Rush City on Friday, yes, this Friday. So this will be the third game that they will play on Friday. They will be at home against Rush City. They lost to them twice last year, once in overtime. So that should be another good game there on Friday. Then next week they will play against St. John's Prep at home, part of their 3-game home streak. They won on the road against St. John's Prep last year, 56-52. And then they will host Swanville a week from next Monday on December 20th. They will host Swanville. They won on the road at Swanville 62-61 during the regular season. So like I mentioned, you got a bunch of teams on this schedule for Braham who they have had really close games against, not just last year but in years past. But I think these will be some really good games everywhere in this conference, but including this one tonight. I'm looking forward to seeing how the Hinckley-Finlayson Jaguars come out and in their first game, looking for their first win to open up the season, and they open it up at home. So not too much better way you can do it than opening up the season not only at home, but in front of your home fans. Again, the Braham Bombers coming into this one 1-1 after losing to Mille Lacs in the first game and getting their first win on the season last night over Floodwood. We'll take a commercial break here, a word from our fine sponsors. I'll come back. I'll give you a little bit more of an update here on this game. We're about 4 minutes away from tip-off here in Hinckley-Finlayson for this boys basketball game between the Jaguars and the Braham Bombers. Back here on WCMP 100.9 FM, the site for tonight's game. Boys basketball game between the Hinckley-Finlayson Jaguars and the Braham Bombers. We're going to get your national anthem and your starting lineups, and when we come back, we'll be set for tip-off here in Hinckley. Back here on WCMP 100.9 FM, the site for tonight's basketball game between the Hinckley-Finlayson Jaguars and the Braham Bombers. Just about set to get going here this evening. Both these teams getting their final words of encouragement and strategy from their coaches. And we'll be set for tip-off. I want to thank all of you who have joined us here this evening, whether you're listening on 100.9 FM or watching live on WCMPradio.com. Your starting lineups for the Braham Bombers are Mac Nelson, number 1, number 5, Braden Grams, number 12, Caleb Schusted, number 42, John Mackey, and Jonah Johnson, number 44. Meanwhile, the Hinckley-Finlayson Jaguars start with the ball. They win the tip-off. It's Silas Lefebvre, Trey Visser, Lucas Kreff, Ashton Halsler, and John Buchanan, the starting 5 for the Hinckley-Finlayson Jaguars. Now with it and getting the rebound was Braden Grams. His shot no good. And the Jaguars will take it the other way. With it was Halsler, and now puts it in the paint. And that is John Buchanan with the first points of the game. Braham now has it, trying to get it across half court. All the way up they go, getting it across half court. It's Grams with it. He almost lost it, gets it off to Mackey. Now across court to Schusted on the near side, which is the bottom of your screen. Now to Nelson. Nelson for 3. That's no good. Going to be rebounded here by Trey Visser. Visser will take it up the court for the Jaguars. He's on the far side, which is the top of your screen. Now drifts near side, gives it off here to Kreff. Kreff drives inside the paint, gives it to Buchanan. Buchanan turns around, puts up the shot. Oh, it's no good. And they're going to get a travel. So a travel there on Buchanan. It's 2-0, 16:59 to go in the first half. Pass up court to Grams for the Braham Bombers. Grams, he's going to take it to the basket. No good. He gets his own rebound for a moment, but then it's Buchanan who grabs it. And the Hinckley-Finlayson Jaguars have it on their side. And knocking it out of bounds was Mac Nelson, shooting out of a cannon to get that ball, but he got a hand on it, knocked it out of bounds. The ball will remain with the Hinckley-Finlayson Jaguars. Inbound here to Silas Lefebvre from Kreff. Lefebvre working at the top of the key, trying to get around the defense. He doesn't. He'll give it off to Visser. Lefebvre has some awesome ball handling skills. You'll see that on display tonight. Then now Halsler has it. He gets it up in the paint. Tries to put it up. It's no good. And with the rebound is Jonah Johnson. Taking it up the court are the Bombers. It's Schusted with it. Now to Mac Nelson. This is for 3, and that is in. Mac Nelson for 3, the assist to Schusted. Now on the other side with it for 3, no good is Visser, and rebound there by the Bombers. That was Mac Nelson with the rebound. Bombers have it. It's Schusted. He'll take a long 3. That one got to the basket, but no good. Rebounded here by the Jaguars. Kreff will take it up on the far side, pass to Lefebvre. He'll give it now to Buchanan for a 3, no good, and Lefebvre is right there for the rebound for the Jaguars, trying to get inside, work between the defenders. Instead, he'll give it off to Buchanan. He gives it back to Lefebvre. Lefebvre trying to get around the defenders. He can't. Just inside the 3-point line, he'll take a shot. It's no good. Rebound there for Mac Nelson. Up the court with it goes Grams. Grams has it. He gives it off. He'll give it off there to Schusted. Now across court to Mac Nelson. Tries to give it in the paint to Mackey. Mackey loses it for a moment, but he'll get it right back. Gives it off there to Jonah Johnson. Jonah Johnson at the far side, working to the top of the key. Nobody guarding him. They're kind of daring him to take a 3, and he will. No good. And the rebound there by Trey Visser. Now going up the other way with it is Halsler. He'll get it up and in for 2. Make it 4-3 now in favor of the Jaguars. They're getting it up court. Grams with it. To Mackey, now back to Grams. Grams drives to the paint, no good. But we're going to get the game's first foul, and that will go on Buchanan. I believe so anyways. Yes, it will. Buchanan gets the first foul of the evening for either side, and it's Brandon Grams at the line to shoot 2. The first one is up, no good. Brandon Graham's no good on the first free throw, and he'll get set for the second. Bombers trail 4-3, 14:43 to go. No good on the second one, and there for the rebound for a moment was Hauser. Taking it away was Mackey. Trying to drive inside is Mackey. Nelson up, no good on his shot, and the rebound there by Silas Lefebvre. Lefebvre quickly working up the court. He drives in the paint. Reverse layup. It's in for two. Lefebvre does it himself, and it works to perfection for Lefebvre. Now with it, Mac Nelson trying to drive inside. They're going to get an offensive charge on Mac Nelson. Great job there by the Jaguars, just getting in place, staying there, knowing that they're going to take what would be a shot. Mac Nelson with his first foul on the evening. Set to inbound now is Kreft. He'll inbound it to Lefebvre, and they will work it up the court. He gives it off now to Visser. Visser on the far side. Now gives it to Kreft. Kreft to Hosler. Hosler to Buchanan. Buchanan on the far side to Lefebvre. Lefebvre, he'll pass it way across court to Kreft. Kreft for three. Off the back of the rim, no good. Rebound there by Grams. Grams will take it up the court. He'll give it off now to Schusted. Schusted tried to get it in the paint to Mackey. Mackey in the paint, turns around, now looking to pass it back to Schusted here on the near side. Schusted looking for a pick. He can't get it. He'll give it off to Mac Nelson on the far side. No good from three. And then we're going to get a push on who, though, is the question. Mackey did get the rebound there for Braham. And it looks like we're going to get the push on Braham, and it's going to go on Mackey. So that's their second team foul, his first. And it remains 6-3, 13:44 to go in half number one. Here at Hinckley-Finlayson High School. Lefebvre with it. He gives it off to Hosler on the far side. Hosler tries to get around the defender, Mackey. He'll pass it back now to Kreft. Kreft on the far side. Gives it off to Buchanan near side. Buchanan for three, and that's just off the mark. No good. Jonah Johnson will get the rebound there for the Bombers. He'll give it off to Grams. Grams takes it up the court. He drifts to the middle. Back to the near side, trying to get around the defender. Instead, he'll pass it off to Nelson. Nelson with it, passes it in the paint to Jonah Johnson, who puts it up. No good on the shot, but they're going to get a foul. I believe that one is going to go on Kreft of the Jaguars. Jonah Johnson will go to the line and shoot two. That'll be the second team foul for Hinckley-Finlayson. Should be the first on Kreft. It is. Jonah Johnson at the line to shoot two. 6-3, his team trails. Johnson's first one is up, no good. Score remains 6-3. We'll get a substitution here for the Jags. It'll be number 52 checking in. That is Randy Scaff. Jonah Johnson, good on his second. That makes it 6-4 now. Jaguars still with the lead. Lefebvre has it. He takes it up court. Gives it off on the far side to Visser. Visser. And he's just going to take a three himself, and it drops. Trey Visser from three is good. Make it 9-4. Bombers trying to get it inbounded. They do. Schusted. Now it's taken away by Lefebvre. Lefebvre with a steal. He steps back for a three. No good. And the rebound to Lefebvre. And then they're going to get a push here, I believe, on the Bombers. So Lefebvre not only gets the rebound, but he gets the Bombers to commit a foul. They lead 9-4 with 12:33 left. That's going to be the second on Mac Nelson for the Bombers. Also checking in for the Jaguars was number 50, Jordan Masterson. Number 50. Hosler gets set to inbound for the Jaguars. He does to Lefebvre. Lefebvre will start on the other side of half court. Now work back on the offensive side. He'll give it off to Masterson. Masterson gives it back to Lefebvre. Lefebvre thought about the three on the far side corner. Instead, he'll give it off to Hosler. Hosler waiting for a pick from Masterson. He'll put up another three, and that one is drained. Hosler for a three. Make it 12-4. Jaguars with the lead. That pass on the sideline to Schusted. He tries to keep it alive. Going to be stolen away there by Lefebvre. Hosler now with it. Lefebvre now in the paint to Scaff. No good. No good from Scaff, and it's rebounded by Mackey. Taking it up the court are the Bombers. Schusted with it. Gets a nice pick. He stepped back for three. That's going to hit the front of the rim. It's going to be no good. It's going to be Masterson who gets the rebound there for the Jags. Taking it up the court is LaFave. LaFave works inside the paint, gives it off to Hosler. Hosler will reset things, stand at the top of the key, give it off to LaFave on the far side. LaFave almost has it poked away, but he now gets a pick, works to the middle, now gives it to Hosler on the near side. Back to LaFave. LaFave now to Visser on the far side. Visser to Scaff. Tried to get it to Masterson in the paint. I think they're going to call it's going to be tipped by the Bombers. It will remain with the Jaguars. They lead 12-4 with 11:25 to go in half number 1. A couple of substitutions. Looks like Kreft will check back in. Looks like Hosler maybe hurt a little bit. Hopefully he's all right and able to get back into this game. Visser will set to inbound. He does to LaFave on the far side. He got 2 men to jump. Now he drives, passes it off to Scaff, who puts it up and in for 2. A beautiful feed from LaFave makes it 14-4. And the Bombers now have it, working it up the court. That is number 2, Logan Leniz. Bombers have it, trying to drive is Schusted. He puts it up and in for 2. Make it 14-6 now. On the assist from Leniz. Jaguars have it in the paint to Masterson. Now back out to the far side to LaFave. LaFave gives it off to Masterson again. Masterson passes it off to Kreft. Kreft on the far side now gives it to Scaff. Scaff trying to work in the paint. Turns around, and they're going to get him for a travel there. He slipped. Otherwise, that wouldn't have been a travel. He would have been all right hadn't he slipped. But unfortunately, a slip there is going to be a travel. And with it now is Jacob Tepley. Tepley with it for the Bombers, and it'll be stolen away there by Visser. Visser almost lost it for a moment. He still has it, gives it off to Scaff. Scaff now with it, gives it off to LaFave. LaFave going to drive in, trying to get around the defenders, gives it off to Kreft. Kreft, he wants to take it inside. He goes inside, and going to be a foul here on the Bombers. That foul going to be on Logan Leniz. His first of the game. Team's 4th foul. Inbound here. Jaguars have it. Kreft in the paint to LaFave. He turns around, puts up the shot, and it's good. Kreft with the assist on that one. Make it 16-6. Jaguars with the lead. Taking up the court, Schusted. Schusted, he has it on the near side. Drives to the top of the key. He'll give it off to Leniz. Leniz on the far side to, oh my goodness, number 23. I do not have that number on my stat sheet. Number 23 scored that 3-pointer there, making it 16-9. Silas LaFave has it for the Jaguars now on their side. Gives it to Visser. Visser wants to drive. He thought about putting up the shot. Instead, he'll give it off to Masterson in the paint, who gets it to fall. Masterson, the feed from Visser. Give him the assist. It's 18-9 now. Under 9.5 to go. Schusted with it. Back on their side of the court. Gives it off to Leniz. Leniz again to 23. He'll take the shot from long range, no good. And rebound for a moment by the Bombers, but LaFave will take it away. LaFave down the court. Now on the far side, it's Visser. Visser in the paint to Masterson. Gives it off to a wide open Kreft for 3. Off the mark, no good. And the Bombers will just watch that one bounce out of bounds, and that will be their ball. Visser checks out. In for him is Hosler. Again, he went out just a little bit ago, but he is back in. He's all right. Looked like he had maybe had a cramp there. 18-9 in favor of the Jaguars. Exactly 9 minutes to go. Leniz has it. He passes it now to Grams. Grams. And looks like we're going to get a whistle here. That foul going to go on Hosler. That'll be their team's, I believe, 3rd. And again, that's Hosler's first. And the team's 3rd. Tepley will inbound to Grams. Grams taking it up the court for the Bombers. Now on their offensive side. Getting around the defender. Gets a pick from Johnson. He passes it out to Leniz. Leniz out to 23. Again, I don't have him listed. It's Tepley now to Grams. Grams back to Tepley. Tepley to Leniz. Oh, and they're going to get a quick travel here. A travel call. Not sure who they got the travel on because the whistle blew after the pass had gone. to Laniz, and I didn't see him take a step without dribbling, but could have been on somebody else. So the Jaguars will now take over off of the travel by the Bombers. Lefebvre with it, looking for a pick. He doesn't get it, but he's going to drive to the basket anyway. It's going to be almost stolen away by Laniz, but somehow Masterson kept it alive. He keeps it. Scaff has it now. Gives it off to Hosler. Hosler, no good from three. Rebound again by Scaff. Now to Lefebvre for three on the near side. No good. He'll get his own rebound. He'll drive, stops, gives it off to Hosler on the near side. Hosler keeps it alive. It was trailing out of bounds, but nice job there by Hosler just to keep that alive. Kreft has it. Thought about passing it in the paint. Instead gives it to Lefebvre. Lefebvre tries to drive. Pass to, can't see the number, that's Masterson on the far side. That was Scaff. Now getting a pick from Masterson is Hosler. Now gives it off to Kreft. Kreft at the free throw line. Gives it off to Hosler. Hosler thought about three. Thought about it again. Passes it far side to Scaff. Scaff, he wants to drive. He gives it off now to Lefebvre on the near side. Lefebvre drives. Instead, he'll give it off to Hosler. Hosler on the near side for three. Rings around and goes in. Hosler on the assist from Lefebvre, and now taking it to the basket is Grams, and they're going to get an offensive foul. They're on Grams. That'll be the team's fifth for Braham. If that is who it is on, it is. That's going to be his first. Team's fifth, and that prevents them from getting any points. Grams had a nice lane, but great job by Hinckley-Finlayson to set up in that lane and make sure they got the offensive foul. They do. So Lefebvre will get the inbound from Kreft, and he'll take it up the court. Lefebvre gives it off to Hosler. Hosler, he'll wait for just a moment. Now drift to his right, stops at the free throw line, puts up the shot, no good. Rebound here by Jonah Johnson for a moment, and he'll give it to Grams. Again, it's Jonah Johnson who got the rebound. Grams has it up the court for the Braham Bombers. He looks, he gives it off now to Schusted. Schusted wants to drive, he gives it off to 23. Now to Laniz, back to Schusted on the near side. Schusted tries to pass, and the block by Lefebvre. Lefebvre with the block. He'll take it up the court, give it off to Hosler on the near side for three. Oh, in and out. No good. And the rebound there by number 23. Bombers have it. It's Grams who gives it off. Now to Jonah Johnson. Jonah Johnson has it to Schusted. Schusted at the free throw line for two is good on the feed from Jonah Johnson. That'll make it 21-11. 6:20 to go in the first half. Lefebvre tried to pass it to Scaff, and it was poked away, but he got it back. Hosler now has it, gives it off. Tried to give it to Scaff, but it's going to be stolen away by Grams. Grams up the court with it, and Grams takes it to the basket. It's no good, and the Bombers do get the rebound. And that's, again, number 23 with the shot, making it 21-13. And it looks like we'll get a timeout here. Leave that timeout called by the... And... Yep, that one was called by the Jaguars. Just wanted to wait a moment to see I called it right, but the Jaguars do call the timeout. It's been a very good game to this point, 21-13. The Jaguars lead at home over the Braham Bombers. Braham comes into this game 1-1. Lost their first game against Malacca, then just won last night against Floodwood. This is the first game of the season for the Hinckley-Finlayson Jaguars. It's going pretty well for them. They've hit 3 threes already, 2 from Hosler and 1 from Visser. Hosler does lead them in points right now with 8. The next closest is Lefebvre with 4 and Visser with 3. On the other side for Braham, it is the guy who I do not have on this roster sheet, number 23. He has 5 points, 4 for Schusted and 3 for Mac Nelson. Both teams have done a good job here tonight, working in the paint and also getting good defense in the paint and getting a lot of rebounds on both sides. Lefebvre will get the inbound here from Visser, who checks back into the game after the timeout. Lefebvre up the court with it. He'll give it off to Visser on the far side. Visser, he'll hold it for a couple of seconds. He'll give it back off to Lefebvre, who stands at the top of the key. Lefebvre will now give it to number 33. That is Everett Osmus. Now to Buchanan. Buchanan stands, now gives it to Osmus. In the paint to Lefebvre. A reverse layup. It's good. And do we get the and one? I believe we will. We will. Silas Lefebvre gets the shot to drop and the foul. That's going to be the first on Mr. Unknown, number 23. That's their 6th team foul, and Lefebvre has a chance for a 3-point play. It's 23-13. Lefebvre at the line. Puts up the shot. No good, so it's only 2. But the rebound by Buchanan, so that'll keep things alive. And this one almost stolen away by the Bombers, but Lefebvre has it, gives it in the paint to Visser, puts it up and in for 2. A nice assist there from Lefebvre, makes it 25-13. Schusted with it for the Bombers. Schusted has it. Schusted kind of waiting for the defense to set up. He'll give it off to Jonah Johnson. Jonah Johnson now passes, and the pass will be given to Grams now. Grams right back here to Tepley. Tepley to Schusted. Schusted directing traffic out there, tells him to get moving around. Jonah Johnson now has it, gives it off to Grams. Grams is going to put up a shot from 3. It drains! Brandon Grams with the long 3. He got it to fall. I don't know how he got it to fall, but he did. Brandon Grams for 3. 25-16, 4.5 to go. Jaguars with the lead. Buchanan now has it. He gives it in the paint, and that is Osmus. No good on the shot. Rebounded there by the Bombers. Schusted. Schusted, he wants to drive. He puts up the shot. It's no good. Rebounded by Jonah Johnson. Jonah Johnson dribbles once. He puts up the shot. No good, but he's going to be fouled. He'll go to the line and shoot 2. Nice rebound there by the Bombers, Jonah Johnson. And he will go to the line to shoot 2. This will be the first on Visser. Team's 4th. And Jonah Johnson's first shot is up. No good. Off the back of the rim. And Jonah Johnson will get set for his second shot. He missed on the first. As his team trails 25-16 with 4:12 to go here in the first half. No good on the second. It was in and out, and the Jaguars have it back. Visser quickly down the court to Lefebvre. Lefebvre wanted to get it in the paint to Osmus. He does. Osmus puts it up. It's no good. Rebounded there by Mackey. Schusted now has it on the pass from Grams. Schusted will get it in the paint to Johnson. Johnson puts it up and in for 2. Nice assist there from Schusted. We'll make it 25-18. On the far side, Lefebvre drifting near side. He drives to the middle, he thought he was going to put up the shot instead. Gives it off to Visser on the far side, near side rather. Buchanan will get the rebound. He'll drive to the paint. No good. We're going to get a foul. And I think it is going to go, looks like it might go on the Jags. And we got a couple of players who get up a little slowly. Buchanan and Mackey get up a little bit slow. They just got a little bit tangled there. They're limping. They're limping a little bit, and Buchanan's going to come to the side. Just get a rest here just to make sure he's all right. And I believe we're going to get a foul call on the Jaguars, I believe. Well, it's not up there, so we did not get it, but the Bombers do have the ball, so it must have been a travel. Schusted has it for the Bombers. He drives, gives it off to Grams. Grams, he wants to drive instead. He'll give it off to Schusted now on the near side. Schusted drifts more to the near side, now into the near side corner. He passes it in the paint to Mackey. Mackey wants to turn around, put up a shot. Instead, he'll give it off to Johnson. Johnson puts it up. No good on the shot, but he will be fouled. He'll go to the line and shoot 2 again, and we'll see who that one's going to be on. It's going to be on the Jaguars. It'll be their 5th and the first for Visser. They've been spreading out the fouls. That's a good thing, so they won't be in any kind of foul trouble. Will one specific player. Jonah Johnson at the line to shoot 2. His first one is good. 25-19. Bombers trail. 3:14 to go in half number 1. Scaff checks in now for Everett Osmus. Jonah Johnson hit on his first, and will hit on both. That'll make it 20-25. Jaguars still with the lead. Lefebvre gets the inbound from Visser. Lefebvre will take it up the court. He looks for a pick. Instead, he'll drift far side, give it off to Visser. Visser back near side, gives it off to Scaff. Scaff, he takes it and then gives it off to Kreft. Kreft now back to Lefebvre. Lefebvre thought about three. He'll drive, pass it back to Visser, who fakes the three, just a head fake there. Now he'll drive inside the paint, give it off to Kreft. Kreft, he will drive, and he will pass it back to Scaff. Scaff, he wants to drive. He will drive, put up with the hook shot, no good. And it's rebounded there by Jonah Johnson. Graham's with it for the Bombers to Jonah Johnson. Jonah Johnson fakes the pass one way, gives it off to Mackey near side. Mackey will now give it off to Schusted on the far side for three. That one's no good. And nice job there by Tepley to tap that one back for Mackey for the rebound. Mackey gets the rebound and puts up the shot as Schusted. No good, but we're going to get a foul on the Jaguars, and that will be their team's. Oh, no, excuse me. That is going to go on the Braham Bombers. That's Schusted's first. So that'll be their 7th team foul. That looked like it's going to be a charge there. 2:23 to go here in the first half. 25-20. Your Hinckley-Finlayson Jaguars lead at home. But the visiting Braham Bombers trying to make that comeback happen here and get within a couple more of that lead before half. Lefebvre with it. Stands at the top of the key. Passes it to Kreft on the near side. To Masterson. Now to Scaff, who is on the far side. Fakes one way, gives it to Visser. Visser thought about three. Now Lefebvre has it on the near side. Lefebvre to Kreft to Masterson. Masterson to Scaff. Now to Visser. Visser will stand. He'll wait. He'll give it to Lefebvre. Lefebvre for three. No good. And it's Grams who gets the rebound for the Braham Bombers. Grams, he wants to drive, gives it off to Mackey now as he stumbled. Mackey will give it to Schusted. Schusted has it. Near side, he'll drift back to the top of the key. Thinking about driving, he'll pass it in the paint to Jonah Johnson. Jonah Johnson back to Mackey. Mackey's going to take a shot from three. That's off the front of the rim, no good. But who's there for the rebound? It's Grams. Grams for the rebound, puts it up and in for two. It's 25-22. Grams just did a great job there getting in, nice position. Got the rebound and then quickly put up that shot. Hinckley-Finlayson has it. Scaff tries to pass it in the paint to Masterson, but it's going to be stolen away by Mackey. Schusted with it for the Bombers. Schusted drifts to the top of the key. He's going to take an extra long three. Oh, that one's no good. Jonah Johnson, though, right there for the rebound, and that ball was blocked. Nice job there by the Jaguars to block that ball. Scaff now gives it to Visser. Visser for three. No good. And it is going to get, I think, a foul here on the Jaguars as they try to get that ball back. Under a minute to go. It's going to be the 17th foul on the Jaguars. The second for Visser. Visser trying to get the ball back. Got the foul. And since both teams are in the bonus, it'll be Mackey at the line to shoot a 1-and-1. 25-22, the Jaguars lead at home over the Bombers. Bombers 1-1 on the season. This is the Jaguars' first game. Mackey with the shot. It's good. So Mackey makes his first. He'll get granted a second opportunity. It's 25-23, and if you're the Bombers, this is exactly what you were hoping for to kind of end this half here. You were trailing by a large margin at first, but now able to get back within one, 25-24. It's Kreft who has it. Kreft to Lefebvre. Lefebvre now to Visser. Visser tries to get in the paint to Kreft, but he'll get it back after it's poked away. Masterson now to Lefebvre on the far side. I think they might just try and pass this ball around before they have too little time on the clock. And then Visser almost had it stolen away, but Johnson will get it back, and I think they might get a... Oh, no, it's going to be a foul on the defense, and Jonah Johnson's going to go to the line for the and one, I believe. Or didn't it? I thought it fell. Apparently not. 8th team foul now on the Jaguars, the second for Kreft. And I thought that shot had fallen by Johnson, but Jonah Johnson, it apparently did not. Visser will check out Ashton Hosler in for him. So it must have hit the net. That must have been what I was seeing. No, okay, it did not. It is going to be 26-25 as Johnson did make the shot. It did fall. 17 seconds to go. Jonah Johnson, no good on the free throw, but he does get that basket to fall. Bombers have the lead, 26-25, 10 seconds to go. Silas Lefebvre thought about the step-back three. Instead, he'll pass off to Hosler. Hosler stands on the near side, gives it off to Kreft on the near side as well. Gives it in the paint to Masterson. Masterson tries to get around the defender. He puts up a shot, and it's good! Masterson gets it to drop, and that'll be the end of the first half. What a shot there by Jordan Masterson. Jordan Masterson with 2 seconds left gets around the defender, turns around, puts up the shot, gets it to fall. And we'll go to halftime with the Jaguars leading 27-26. The Bombers led for about 20 seconds maybe in this half. I think it's about 15. So the Jaguars will go to the half with the lead, 27-26. But I'm sure they're not too happy with how that first half, the end of it, played out, because they were leading by a large margin. And they gave up their lead there to the Bombers for a little bit, but they came back, and Masterson with a beautiful turnaround jumper got back the lead for the Jaguars, who lead at halftime 27-26. We'll take a commercial break, hear a word from our fine sponsors. When we come back, I'll recap that first half for you, and we'll also let you know some keys to the game for each of these teams. You're listening to boys basketball here on 100.9 FM WCMP.
If you've been injured in an auto accident or have sustained other personal injury, you don't have to leave town to get good representation. Spear & Swanson attorneys at law in Pine City are experienced and will work on your case with no fee until they get you money. They also handle divorce and custody cases, criminal defense, including DWI and other legal matters. Spear & Swanson is your local law firm that cares about you. So if you need legal representation or advice, call 320-629-7586. Spear & Swanson, attorneys at law in Pine City.
Getting the kids to practice on time. Remembering if it's your day to bring snacks. Making it to the game with a clean jersey. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with Auto Owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. Auto Owners works with independent agents who answer when you call, so you can worry about more important things, like whether your kid is going to run toward first or third base. That's simple human sense.
Visit Town & Country Insurance today at townandcountry-ins.com or stop in our offices in Finlayson, Hinckley, and Mora.
Are you interested in a technical degree that can quickly help you land your dream career? Or maybe you've always dreamed of going to a 4-year college, but you'd like to start close to home. Either way, Pine Technical and Community College has you covered. PTCC offers more than 50 degrees in hot fields like healthcare information technology, advanced manufacturing, and business. PTCC is now accepting applications. Financial aid may be available online at pine.edu. Starting out or starting over, find your future at Pine Technical and Community College.
With high school sports season here again, Wellia Health wants to remind you that they want to help your athletes stay in the game. Sports medicine services are available at every Wellia Health campus. Whether it's the young athlete, the weekend warrior, or the accomplished athlete, injuries can happen. Get back in the game by calling the sports medicine experts at Wellia Health, 320-679-1313. Wellia Health. Live life well.
When something is important to you, you'll do anything to make sure it's protected. You want someone you know, someone you trust to help you take care of it. That's why you need to work with Pine Insurance Agency and Auto Owners Insurance. With over 50 years combined experience, let the experts at Pine Insurance Agency help you protect what's important. Whether it's your home, car, farm, insurance, or loved ones, call them today to set up a free, no-obligation quote. Your local Auto Owners Insurance Agency is Pine Insurance Agency, located in a Northridge Center in Pine City.
Since 1967, Schmidt Construction, general contractor in Hinckley, has been where to go for all your building projects. Let Gerald Schmidt help you with designing, remodeling, or any new construction. Schmidt Construction specializes in residential home building, agricultural, industrial, and commercial buildings. With expert advice on all of your building projects and ideas, when you hire a contractor to take care of your building needs, you can't do better than Schmidt Construction, general contractor in Hinckley. 320-384-7901.
Thank you to all of our fine sponsors who sponsor these broadcasts. Can't do it without them. Thank you all of you who tuned in this evening on 100.9 FM, or maybe you're watching online at WCMPradio.com. Either way, you have tuned in to a very good one here this evening between the Hinckley-Finlayson Jaguars and the Braham Bombers. The Jaguars lead at half, 27-26, after a wild ending to the first half, as the Hinckley-Finlayson Jaguars did give up the lead momentarily to the Bombers, The Bombers led for about 15 seconds rather in the first half. Yeah, only about 15 seconds in that first half did they have the lead. Then the Jaguars went down the court. They passed it around a couple times. Jordan Masterson had it, and he hit a turnaround jumper to give the Jaguars the lead with no time left on the clock. So Masterson, I mean, it was a nice turnaround little jumper in the paint there against the defender. Got it to fall. Just a beautiful touch on it from Masterson. But the Hinckley-Finlayson Jaguars had a great first half. Of course, when we look at it, the Jaguars probably will not be as happy as, some fans are that they have the lead, because I'm sure the Jaguars will go back and look in this first half and say, hey, look at how big our lead was, and look at what we gave up there towards the end of the first half. We can't have that happen. We can't have a letdown like that. We have to keep our foot on the gas and pull away from teams. But the Braham Bombers are going to go and look at this first half and go, hey, we started out slow, but look what happened once we got our rhythm, once we started hitting shots, once we got things to fall in place for us. We really started to get going. Our offense absolutely took off. Your offense got hot, and you looked good. You held Hinckley-Finlayson, to a scoreless drought for a while there, and you got back within a couple. It was 25-20 at one point, and the Bombers went on a 6-0 run to take the lead. So they have the chance now in the second half to really not only take the lead, but get out of here with the victory. So it should be a good finish here in this second half between these two teams. Looking at the stats for each of these teams, starting with the visiting Braham Bombers, leading the way for them was Jonah Johnson. He had 7 points there in that first half. Got some nice work in the paint. And then it was Brandon Grams and number 23, the nameless guy out there. Again, I do not have him on my roster sheet, but he got 5 as well. Caleb Schusted had 4, 3 for Mac Nelson and 2 for John Mackey. 2 rebounds there for Nelson, had about 4 for Brandon Grams, and 6 for Jonah Johnson. So he was working in the paint. 4 for John Mackey, 2 for Schusted as well. Schusted had 3 assists as well, and a steal for both Grams and Mackey on their side. They had one guy with 2 fouls, that's Mac Nelson. He had 2 fouls there in the first half out of their 7. And they will look to have a cleaner second half. And it wasn't that they had so many fouls. It was just a bulk of their fouls came in the first part of that first half, and they'll look to cut down on that. But now over to the Hinckley-Finlayson side. Leading the way for them was Ashton Hosler. He had 8 points in that first half, 6 for Silas Lefebvre, 5 for Trey Visser, 4 for Jordan Masterson. Again, he hit that last second shot, 2 for Scaff and John Buchanan. Rebounds-wise, Lefebvre and Buchanan both have 3, 2 for Visser, and 1 for Kreft, Scaff, and Masterson, along with Hosler. 3 assists for Lefebvre as well. He's been passing the ball around very nicely. 2 steals for Lefebvre and Visser, and a block also for Lefebvre, so nice job there for him. They had a couple of guys with 2 fouls, Visser and Kreft, and then 1 for Hosler, Buchanan, and Lefebvre. So 8 first half fouls for them, and they'll look to, again, improve on that, as well as a bulk of theirs came in the later part of the first half of this game. The Jaguars lead 27-26 over the Braham Bombers at home, and they will look to build on that lead here as we are just about set to start the second half. We'll take another commercial break here, word from our fine sponsors, and when we come back, we'll be ready for the second half action here in Hinckley. You're listening to Boys Basketball, 100.9 FM, WCMP.
It's the holiday season. That means sipping hot chocolate and spending time with family and friends. But it also means winter is here, and your furnace is working hard. With your comfort and safety as our top priority, Aquarius Home Services is offering a $55 furnace tune-up and safety inspection. At Aquarius, it's about keeping you cozy warm and worry-free for the holidays, and treating your home and time with respect. Schedule your furnace inspection today at AquariusHomeservices.com. Aquarius, earning the right to be recommended.
Minnesota. It's home. Hot summers at the lake, beautiful falls, snowy winters, and rainy springs. We experience it all. Make sure you're ready to handle whatever this state throws at you with help from Minnesota Equipment in Isani. Minnesota Equipment carries brands you love, like John Deere, Steel, Toro, Gravely zero-turn mowers, and Aaron snowblowers. Their helpful staff can not only get you the equipment you need, but can help you maintain it so it will last. Plus, they carry a full line of farm equipment. Minnesota Equipment in Isani. Online at minnesotaequipment.com.
Back inside Hinckley-Finlayson High School, just about set for the second half to begin. Both these teams back to the court, getting ready. Again, the Jaguars had a big lead there in the early stages of the first half, but Braham, they slowly but surely cut away at it, and eventually they had the lead 26-25 for about 15 seconds, and then the Jaguars regained the lead, 27-26. There's the buzzer. Halftime has been completed, and both these teams will work their way back out onto the court. And Braham 1-1 on the season. This is the Jaguars' first competition of the year. The Bombers will start with the ball here in the second half. It's Schusted who will start with it. Schusted works up the court now on the near side to Grams. He's looking for a pick. He will get it from Johnson. He passes it far side to Schusted. Schusted in the far side corner. He gets it in the paint to Mackey. Mackey wants a turnaround shot. It's blocked from behind there by the Jaguars' Buchanan. Buchanan gets a block, and now it's stolen back by the Bombers. The Bombers have it back. It's Schusted to Nelson. Now back to Grams at the top of the key. Gives it off to Schusted on the far side. Tries to get in the paint, but it's stolen away there by Buchanan. Hinckley-Finlayson now with it, and the pass to Hosler just out of his hands. A little bit too tough to hang on there for Hosler. Pass from Kreft. Too strong, and the ball will go back over to the Jaguars. Nelson will get set to inbound. He inbounds it to Grams. And Grams will take it up the court. Now getting past half court. Looking for a pick. Instead, he'll drive to the far side. And, thought about getting it to Nelson, and then I think it slipped out of his hands as it'll roll out of bounds. So not the start either team would have hoped for here, as we have a couple of turnovers back to back to back to back. 17:03 to go in this second half. Jaguars lead 27-26. With it was Visser. He gives it off to Lefebvre. Lefebvre fakes one way and then gives it off to Buchanan for three on the far side. That's going to be no good. Schusted with the rebound. Schusted gets the rebound, and now we'll take a shot from short distance. Rebounded for a moment by Jonah Johnson, but it's going to be knocked out of bounds. They're going to say last touched by the the Jaguars, and the Bombers will retain possession. Schusted will get set to inbound. He does to Mackey. Mackey waits for Buchanan to jump, and then he goes up for the shot. No good, but he does get bumped by Buchanan, and that will more than likely be on Buchanan. Will the foul? It's first team foul of the second half here for the Jaguars. It will be on Buchanan. Apparently that's his third of the evening. Mackey's shot is up and good. He makes the first one to tie this game at 27. John Mackey only had 2 points there in the first half, but very important 2 points on their streak back to get within one of the lead. He makes both, and they'll have a 28-27 lead. Will the Bombers? Visser will take it up the court here for Hinckley-Finlayson. He's going to give it off to Lefebvre on the near side. Lefebvre fakes one way. He's going to drive to the basket, puts up the shot. No good. Grams with the rebound there for the Bombers. Grams to Schusted. Schusted drives inside the paint, puts up the shot. An awkward shot, no good. And therefore the rebound is Kreft. Now to Visser in the near side corner. Back to Lefebvre. Lefebvre at the top of the key. Passes it far side to Hosler. Hosler top key to Kreft. Buchanan has it on the near side. Back to Hosler. Hosler at the top of the key for three. No good. But right there for the rebound is Visser. Visser with the rebound to Lefebvre, now to Hosler, now to Buchanan, near side. Buchanan in the paint to Lefebvre. Lefebvre fakes one way, goes the other way, no good on the shot, and Mackey will get the rebound. He had 4 in the first half. It's Graham's with it now for the Bombers. The lead 28-27. Graham's on drifting far side, and he'll pass it far side to Mac Nelson. Nelson, he will look at the defender, then take the 3, no good. Jonah Johnson right there for the rebound. Gets it off to Mackey. Pass far side to Caleb Schusted. Schusted with it. Pass it to Jonah Johnson, stands at the top of the key. They're daring him to take the 3 again, but Grams will take a shot from more inside for 2, no good. And Hosler is right there for the rebound for Hinckley-Finlayson. He's going to drive quickly, trying to drive to the basket. That one's blocked by Nelson. Buchanan had it, and I think we're going to get a foul, possibly. We will. That'll be on Mac Nelson. That'll be his 3rd of the game. 28-27. Not a shooting foul. So the Jaguars will inbound it. Tries to get it to Buchanan. And Buchanan will let that one roll back across half court, because if he touched it and went back across, it would be an over and back, and the Bombers would take over. Meanwhile, Hosler has it. He's drifting to the top of the key. Passes it off to the far side to Kreft. Kreft will give it off to Buchanan, who stands at the top of the key. This is the longer 3, no good. Rebounded by Mac Nelson of the Bombers. And that's going to be stolen away by Kreft. Kreft with the steal, and now we're going to get a whistle. It's more than likely another foul here on the Bombers. It is their 2nd and the 4th for Mac Nelson, so we'll see him check out. And for him will be Jacob Tepley. We're in number 22. Kreft will inbound. He just inbounds it to Buchanan, who's on the far side, to Lefebvre on the far side. On the elbow, no good for 3. And Grams will tip the rebound to himself. And we'll take it up the court. Grams drifting near side, far side. In the far side corner to Schusted. Schusted passes it to Mackey. Top of the key. Thought about 3. Now gives it off to Tepley. Tepley back to Mackey. Mackey, far side corner to Grams. Grams drives in, then steps back, gives it to Mackey. Now to Tepley at the top of the key. Back to Mackey on the elbow. Now he's guarded well. He'll pass, and that's going to be stolen away by Hosler. Hosler slips, but he puts up the shot. No good. And rebound still up for grabs. It's Mackey. So Hosler got the initial steal, but Mackey will get the rebound, and Jonah Johnson up and in for 2. Johnson makes it 30-27 in favor of the Bombers. And the Jaguars have it back. Visser passes it far side to Kreft. Kreft has it. Kreft will give it to Lefebvre at the top of the key. Lefebvre has a shot if he wants it. He's not going to take it. He said he'll dribble backwards, give it to Kreft on the near side. Kreft has it. Passes to Hosler. Hosler just takes the pass, turns around, puts up the shot. It's in! Goes off the front of the rim, and then it drops in. Makes it 29-30. The assist from Kreft. It's Grams who will just take it slowly up the court. Now stops, gets Visser to fall behind, and Grams will put up the shot. An awkward 3-point shooter, but he gets it to fall. It's a it's a different kind of motion when he shoots the 3, but a 3 nonetheless for Grams. And now Lefebvre with the turnaround jumper for 2. Lefebvre, the turnaround jumper, makes it 31-33, and if we keep going this way, we're in for a very good ending. Schusted with it. Schusted at top of the key, drifts near side. Now tries to drive in the paint. He's going to have that one pulled out of his hands, and it'll roll out of bounds. They're going to say last touched by the Bombers. Lucas Kreft will get set to inbound for Hinckley-Finlayson. 33-31, Bombers lead, 12:37 to go in half number 2. Visser will get the inbound pass, and he'll take it up the court. He gives it off to Lefebvre. Lefebvre to Hosler. He thought about the 2, then drives. That ball is going to be blocked, and keeping it alive was the Bryson Lotz for Braham. And the foul is going to be on the Jaguars, number 50. That's on Masterson, his first. Team's second. Hinckley fans and coaches do not like that call, but fortunately the call will stick. Inbound pass here to Grams. Grams has it. Near side pass to Schusted. Schusted gives it in the paint to Jonah Johnson. Stolen away by Masterson. Masterson gets a steal, now to Visser, now to Lefebvre. Masterson tries to turn around. He will put up the shot. No good, and that's going to go out of bounds off of a Bomber. Masterson, nice job making up for the foul he had. He had a rebound on the other end, and then, or steal, excuse me, on the other end. Puts up a shot, got his own rebound. Inbound pass here to Visser. Turns around, puts up the hook shot. No good, and trying to get the rebound was Kreft, but Tepley will wind up getting it. So Tepley with the rebound there for the Bombers. Schusted has it. Near side pass to, oh, that one, that one hung on the rim for a while. Bryson Lotz will get that one to fall. I was shocked because I didn't think that was gonna fall for Lotz, but it did. Assist to Mackey. Now with it is Visser. Visser trying to drive, spins around, puts up the shot as he falls. It's no good. Mackey another rebound for Braham. They lead 35-31. Again, Bryson Lotz got the score the last time. Pass in paint to Lotz again from Mackey. Far side pass now to Schusted. No good on the three. That ball is tipped. It's rolling around, and who has it? Oh, the Jaguars have it. Lefebvre going up the court. He's going to get fouled. Going to be a reach-in on Grams. He doesn't like the call, but that's the right call. That'll be his second, team's second in the second half. 35-31, Bombers lead here with 10:57 to go. And looks like Hinckley-Finlayson is going to call a timeout here in this second half. 10:57 to go, 35-31, Bombers with the lead, looking for their second win of the season, but the Jaguars looking to open up the season at home with a win. We'll take a commercial break and hear a word from our fine sponsors.
Mortgage rates haven't been this low since 2017. Chad Greenway talking Franzen Bank Mortgages. Now is a great time to buy or build your first home, your dream home, or that cabin you've always wanted. Or maybe refinance and lower your monthly payment. The local mortgage experts at Franzen Bank will find an option that best fits your situation. Buying, building, or refinancing. Find a Franzen Bank mortgage expert today at franzenbank.com/getthere. Tell them Greenway sent you. Franzen Bank and Trust. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Just about set to come back out of the timeout. The Jaguars called. 10:57 to go here in the second half. And the Jaguars trail by 4. They led at halftime 27-26. But now trail 35-31. Bombers got off to a hot start here in the second half, but Jaguars trying to put an end to that as, again, they do have the ball. A recent foul there on Brendan Grams of the Bombers. And then Dan Kreft, the head coach of the Jaguars, decided to call a timeout. Trying to get his guys to regroup. And Kreft will inbound here. Lucas Kreft to Masterson. Now to Lefebvre. Lefebvre will take the three. No good. And the rebound still up for grabs. It's on the ground. Looks like the Bombers get it, but it's stolen away by Masterson. No good on his shot. He gets his own rebound. The ball will stay rolling around. He gives it off to Lefebvre. Now to Hosler. Hosler for three. Good. Hosler for three. The assist from Lefebvre makes it 35-34. Bombers still with the lead. It's Schusted with it. Now to Jonah Johnson. Johnson gives it to Tyler Eklund, number 11 out there. Schusted gives it to Johnson. Now back to the top of the key to Tepley. Tepley drifts one way, goes the other way, trying to drive. He'll put up a shot, and I think they're going to get a foul on the Jaguars. Thought for a moment they might call him for travel. And that's going to be the third on Lucas Kreft. It's going to be a shooting foul, and Jacob Tepley will be at the line for 2. Off the front of the rim, but it falls in for Tepley, make it 36-34. 10:13 to go. Braham. Tepley, that one goes off front of the rim and no good. Tepley does get one. On the other side now for the Jaguars. With it is Kreft. He'll stay in the game with 3 fouls. He'll give it to Lefebvre. Lefebvre near the logo. He'll pass it off to Scaff. Scaff stands at the elbow. Gives it off to Masterson now, top of the key. Now to Hosler. Hosler to Lefebvre. Lefebvre will go in the paint. Drive, no good. Puts up another shot. That one's no good, but he'll go to the line and shoot 2 as he's fouled. Fourth team foul for the Bombers, the second on Schusted. And the Bombers have head coach Jeff Eklund not too happy about the call. Getting an explanation from the referee right now is Lefebvre. Getting set to attempt his free throw. First one is up and good. Makes it 35-36. Lefebvre is good on here, Lefebvre. Lefebvre good on his first. And good on his second. Lefebvre makes both. And he'll tie things up at 36 apiece between these two teams. Bombers have it now up the court. It's Tyler Eklund with it. Now gives it to Schusted. Schusted, far side pass to Jonah Johnson. To Tepley. Tepley will drift far side. He stops. Pass to the top of the key to Eklund. Eklund, he wants to drive. It's poked out by Lefebvre. Oh, and I think they're going to call a foul on Lefebvre. They will. Oh, no, that one's going to be on Hosler. His second. All tied up at 36 apiece here. 9:32 to go in this game between the Hinckley-Finlayson Jaguars, who are hosting the Braham Bombers. This is a Great River Conference matchup as well. Inbound here to Jonah Johnson. Jonah Johnson tries to get it to Jacob Tepley. It is going to be tipped, they say, so Tepley will not get a backcourt violation. Schusted with it. Now to Mackey. Mackey on the far side at the elbow gives it to Eklund. Eklund thought about 3 instead. He'll pass back to Mackey. Mackey, he wants to drive. He does drive. Fifth team foul now on the Jaguars, and the second for Jordan Masterson. Schusted looking for anyone to inbound, and he does. No, tried to get it to Johnson, but it's stolen away there by Scaff, and now Hosler has a chance for a fast break. No good, but he's fouled. Scaff will get a steal, and Hosler at the line to shoot 2 on the foul by the Bombers. That's going to be on Eklund, his first. Hosler's first one is good. That gives them the lead, 37-36. He's good on the second, and Hosler will make both and give his team the lead, 38-36. Eklund with it now on the offensive side, working to get past Hosler, but he'll pass off to Schusted now. Schusted on the near side, working far side. Schusted picks up his dribble, gives it to Tepley. Tepley back to Eklund. Eklund to Schusted. Schusted passes to Tepley on the far side. Now to Eklund. Eklund for 3. No good. Rebound by Masterson. So Masterson gets the rebound there. Kreft with it, and he'll give it to Lefebvre. Lefebvre will stand at the logo. Works near side. He points where he wants his teammate to go, Silas. Lefebvre on the near side elbow to Kreft, back to Lefebvre, in the paint to Hosler. Hosler puts it up, in for 2. Hosler for 2, and the assist goes to Lefebvre. And the Jaguars now lead 40-36. Bombers have it. It's Eklund, now to Mackey. Mackey thought about taking the 3, and he will. It's no good. Jonah Johnson absolutely slaps that one, tries to get his team an opportunity on a rebound, but instead it's rebounded there by Masterson once again. And Lefebvre, he takes it himself to the basket, puts it up, and in for 2. It's 42-36. A 6-0-8-0 run, actually, for the Jaguars. And now Eklund puts up 3, no good. That's Scaff now with the rebound. And now deep pass to Hosler, who's up and in for two, and that is going to force a timeout by the Bombers. 44-36, a 10-0 run for the Jaguars as they take now a 8-point lead. They were down by 2, 34-36, but have gone on to score 10 unanswered here to take a 44-36 lead with 7.5 to go in the game. .10 run again by the Jaguars, With 7.5 to go, the Jaguars have gotten back on track, and their defense has really stepped up. They're forcing the Bombers to take shots they don't want to take, forcing them to hurry even a little bit as well. And the Bombers have not been able to get as many rebounds as they were getting earlier in this half. And that is something that they're going to need to do. But they're also, I think, going to have to just kind of settle things down for themselves and get back to their offense. Again, the Jaguars are making them rush and making them take shots they don't want to take here. And that is exactly what Hinckley-Finlayson has needed. But the Bombers, again, they led here 35-31 and have since on a 10-0 cold spell. It's Graham's with it for the Bombers, and we're going to get a reach-in foul. Looks like Visser who's going to be called for it. It will be. That's his third. Team sixth. Schusted gets the inbound pass. He's looking to drive, and he's guarded by Masterson. Masterson goes off of him, and he'll pass it to Grams. Grams to Mackey. Now to Schusted on the far side for three. No good, and it is Masterson who gets another rebound. Gives it to Kreft. Lucas Kreft gets on the offensive side for Hinckley-Finlayson. The pass in the paint to Scaff. He'll give it back to Lefebvre. Lefebvre taps, just says, hey, that's my bad, as that pass was nearly taken away. And this one is back. Nelson had it for a moment. And now Lefebvre he spins out of trouble. What a spin move there by Lefebvre. He passes it to Scaff, and now he gives it off to Visser. And now back to Scaff, who shoots no good. But Scaff will go to line to shoot two. What a sequence there. What a sequence. 16 foul now for the Bombers, and it's on Schusted. That's his third. Scaff at the line to shoot two. Started by Lefebvre. His first pass almost got stolen away. Then it almost was again by Mac Nelson. They raced for it as Scaff's first is good. As they raced for it on the other side. Had Bombers diving for it. Lefebvre took it, spun out of trouble. Got it back the other way. Then Visser passed it to Scaff, who was fouled. And his second is no good. But Masterson gets the rebound. Looks like we're going to have another foul call on the Bombers. That'll be their seventh. It's going to be the second on Mackey. And now it's Masterson at the line. 45-36. And Masterson's first, no good. Jonah Johnson will get the rebound. So it was a 1-and-1 shot there for Masterson. Schusted will take it up the court for the Bombers. Now gives it to Grams, to Mackey. Mackey stands on the elbow on the near side, fakes the three. Masterson not fooled. Pass now to Schusted on the far side elbow, and that is going to be knocked out of bounds by Scaff. Just stuck his paw out and knocked it out of bounds. It's 45-36, 6:11 to go in the game. Grams will get the inbound pass, almost pushed away by Visser. Grams will give it to Schusted now. Schusted on the near side. He'll drift far, give it to Nelson. Nelson has it. Back and forth we go. Grams, he'll stand at the top of the key and direct traffic. And now he'll bounce pass to Schusted. Schusted back to Grams. Nearly stolen away by Visser. He'll give it to Mac Nelson. Mac Nelson will dribble once for three. In and out. Jonah Johnson tried to hit that one away. Nelson, that looked good for Nelson. Going to be the third foul, by the way, on Mackey. Man, that looked good from Nelson, but just off the mark. Jonah Johnson, he went up high for the rebound, tried to swat that one back out for his team to get the rebound, but Jaguars were there. And now at the line is Lucas Kreft. His first is good on the 1-and-1 opportunity, 46-36. A 12-0 run for the Jaguars here. 5:41 to go in the game. Lucas Kreft's no good on his second, so he makes one of two. And Jonah Johnson there to rip it away for the rebound for the Bombers. He'll give it off now to Schusted. Schusted, he wants to go somewhere, and he will step back three and drains it. Oh, my goodness. Schusted, a step back three. That'll end the run. 12-0 run has ended. And the Jaguars have it on their side. It's Visser. Visser with it now to Scaff, who takes a three-point shot. It falls. Randy Scaff for three, and it's now again a 10-point lead for the Jaguars. Wow. Scaff not afraid to take the shot from long range. Nelson with it back to Schusted. Schusted has it 4:42 to go. 49-39. Jaguars lead. Schusted will drive inside, puts up the shot, no good. Rebound there by Masterson. Lefebvre, he drives, puts up the shot, no good. Jonah Johnson will get the rebound for the Bombers. Schusted will take it up the court here for Braham. He will pass it to Nelson. Not a perfect pass, and then another off-the-mark pass to Graham, but he corrals it. Now to Schusted on the far side. And pass. Going to be in the paint to Johnson. Johnson trying to go up for the shot, but they're going to get a whistle on the Jaguars before he can take the shot. That'll be their team's seventh and the first for Scaff. I don't know if they called that a shooting foul or not. Masterson will check out of the game here, and Buchanan will check back in. I don't know if they called that a shooting foul or not, because if they didn't, it's just a bonus. It's a 1-and-1 opportunity now for Jonah Johnson. And by the looks of it, it's only a 1-and-1 opportunity, but he makes the most of it. So he makes the first, and he will get an opportunity at a second. 49-40, 4:07 to go here in the second half. Jaguars lead. Johnson, no good on his second, so he only makes one. Jaguars have it. Silas Lefebvre will pass on the far side to Visser. Now to Buchanan. Buchanan stands top of the key, gives it off to Scaff. Scaff thought about the three. Instead, he'll pass it to Lucas Kreft, who gives it off the side. Far side to Buchanan. Visser at the top of the key now. He'll wait. Give it off to Scaff on the far side. Thought about three. Instead, he'll give it to Lefebvre. Fakes the three, back to Scaff. Scaff wanted the three. He'll drive. That shot is blocked by Grahams, but rebounded by Visser, who will get the shot in for two. Grahams does get credit for the block there. Makes it 51-40. Braham has it. Schusted off to Nelson. And that pass in the paint was a little bit high. Now with it is Lotz, and that is going to be taken away by the Jaguars. Lefebvre will have it. Passes it off to Visser on the far side. Now in the paint to Lucas Kreft, and he's going to be fouled. 9th team foul on the Bombers. And this will be a 1-and-1 shot for Lucas Kreft. This will be the 5th foul for Mac Nelson. And he'll have to check out of this game. We get a couple of substitutions here for the Jaguars as we have a moment of technical difficulty. And we are back just in time as Kreft hits the first of a 1-and-1 shot. Kreft hits the first of a 1-and-1 opportunity. It's 52-40. And Kreft hits the second. Makes it 52-40. Or excuse me, 53-40. Schusted with it now for the Bombers. He wanted to go one way. No one was there. Gives it off to Tepley now. And with it on the far side is Grams. Grams at the elbow. Gives it to Tepley in the corner. Back to Grams. Grams, he wants to drive. Gives it off to Tepley. Now to Schusted. At the top of the key, it's Mackey. Mackey will drive. He almost loses the ball. Instead, he will drive. And I don't know if that shot's going to count. They did get the shot to fall. Will it count? It's going to be the 8th team foul now for the Jaguars. It's going to be the 4th on Buchanan. And still not sure. They did count the shot, by the way. So the shot will fall for Mackey, and he'll get a chance at the 3-point play. And timeout taken there by the Bombers. 53-42 with 2:35 left in this second half of action. Bombers led here in the early stages of the second half, 35-31. But have since saw that lead disappear as the Jaguars, they went on a 12-0 run to take the lead as they trailed 34-36. Both of these teams working their way back out onto the court, out of the timeout. Jaguars break their huddle, and they'll get back out there. Again, Mackey. John Mackey at the line for the possible 3-point play. He got his shot to fall. And if he can make this one, they'll be down by 10. And it's good. So the 3-point play there for John Mackey makes it 43-53. Jaguars have it. Silas Lefebvre, he'll just work slowly up the court, trying to take as much time off the clock as they can. Don't want a turnover, don't want to give the Bombers any chance of getting back. Lefebvre, they are working the ball around quickly. Now to Buchanan, to Visser, to Kreft, back to Visser. Over to Lefebvre. They're going to double team almost everybody now, will the Bombers. Scaff has it. He's double team, trying to dribble out of the double team. He throws it, almost taken away by Grams, but Lefebvre does a good job. Nice concentration by him to take in that ball. Kreft gives it to Lefebvre. They're going to play a little bit of keep away. Lefebvre over to Scaff, now in the paint to Buchanan. Buchanan's shot is no good. It goes out of bounds. It will stay with the Jaguars. We got a Braham Bomber down. He got hit a little bit below the waist as Buchanan went up for the shot. No, it wasn't intentional at all by Buchanan. That was completely on accident. Buchanan just trying to go up for the shot, and Tepley was right there and unfortunately got hit below the waist. He's up, he's okay. Tepley is up. He's all right. So we'll inbound here. Kreft to Buchanan. Buchanan to Lefebvre. Again, the Jaguars look to just play keep away with 1:45 to go in the game. They lead 53-43. Buchanan over to Visser. Now to Scaff at the top of the key. To Lefebvre on the near side elbow. Now to Lucas Kreft, who is guarded by Tepley. He'll pass it to Visser. Back on the near side, a minute and a half to go. Buchanan. And if you're Braham, you're going to have to start fouling. Scaff thought about three. He drives. Passes it to Buchanan. Great job by the Jaguars just to play keep away, not draw a foul either, and just keep the clock running. 1:11 to go. Buchanan has it. Tries to spin around, and there is the foul. Oh, he put up a left-handed shot after the foul was called, and it drained from just inside three-point range. That's too bad that doesn't count. 10th team foul for the Bombers, the first on Jonah Johnson. Wow. I mean, he just one-handed threw that up, and it fell for Buchanan, who is at the line to shoot two. Double bonus now. The Jaguars are in. Oh, that one rattles in and out. No good. on the shot from Buchanan. So we get another opportunity at it. He has 4 fouls. Buchanan's second one, no good, off the side of the rim. Race for it, and Scaff almost kept it alive, almost ran into the chairs as well on the sideline, but my goodness, Scaff racing after, did not grab it, and Graham's for 3, no good. Rebound to Visser. Visser with the rebound. Foul on Schusted, and Lefebvre will go to line and shoot 2. Schusted gets his 4th, his 3rd here in the second half. Lefebvre at the line to shoot 2. Under a minute to go, 52 seconds left in this game. Lefebvre, good on the first. Makes it 54-43. I wouldn't be surprised if he purposely maybe misses this one just to get the clock rolling and not allow the Bombers to score, but instead he'll make it. 55-43, Lefebvre gets both to fall. Maybe not. They took a point off the board. It's 54-43. So apparently they're only going to count 1. They did take a point off the board for the Jaguars. Someone must have moved off the foul line. Early for 3 is Schusted. And Schusted will get the 3 to fall. It's 46-54. Bombers now down by 8 with 38 seconds to go. Schusted just got that 3 to fall. We'll keep it right here so as not to miss any action, as we could be headed for a very good finish. Now again, I did not see why they took that point off the board for the Jaguars, but I'm guessing that someone at the foul line must have moved early, because you cannot move off your line before the free throw shooter takes his shot. And they must have moved early. Even though he did make the shot, they will not count. 54-46. I have 45 up on my scoreboard. I promise it's 46. That's what they have here in the gym. Hinckley-Finlayson looking to get their first win of the season at home over the Braham Bombers, who are 1-1 on the season. Braham dropped their first game to Malacca. Malacca, a tough team. They fell in that game 65-30. Then Braham came back last night and got a big win over Floodwood, 86-58. Again, these two teams played 3 times last year. Braham bested the Jaguars all 3 times, 2 of them in overtime, including an overtime win for Braham at home in the playoffs. Timeout over now. Braham called that timeout. We'll have 2 left. Inbound here to Lefebvre. And a quick foul. I believe that was Tepley who committed that one. Scoring table wanted to just double check to make sure that they get the right player on the foul, and it is on Tepley. Meanwhile, Lefebvre again at the line to shoot 2. His first one is up and good. 55-46, 36 seconds to go. 9-point lead here for Hinckley-Finlayson. Lefebvre dribbles, puts up the shot, off the front of the rim, no good. I would almost be sure that was purposeful. So he only makes 1. It's 55-46, 30 seconds to go. Visser now has it. They'll play keep away. And you can hear the head coach for Braham, Eklund, saying, just play defense, don't foul. As they will wind down this clock, will the Jaguars. Lucas Kreft has it, pass it to Buchanan. We come upon 10 seconds left. Randy Scaff has it. Looks like he'll just stand. He'll dribble a couple times. Oh, almost had that one go away. He'll give it to Lucas Kreft, and 3, 2, and 1, and there is the game. The final here in this one, the Jaguars get a little bit of revenge over the visiting Braham Bombers After they lost to them 3 times last year, they'll win this one, the first meeting between these two teams in the Great River Conference, 55-46. We'll take a commercial break here. Word from our fine sponsors. When we come back, I'll recap this game, let you know what's coming up for both these teams, and also for WCMP. You're listening to Boys Basketball on 100.9 FM, WCMP.
This is a story we all share, of a place rooted in tradition and rich with opportunity. Of people driven by compassion and vision. At Essentia Health, we're proud to play our role in this story because we know that this place, these people, are like nowhere else. Visit Essentia Health in Hinckley, Sandstone, or our new location in Moose Lake for all your care needs. Schedule an appointment at essentiahealth.org today.
Are you ready for winter? Call D&E Heating and Air Conditioning in Hinckley. D&E Heating and Cooling is a local Amana dealer with quality workmanship and superior service. Now scheduling into 2022, D&E is ready to assist you, keeping all your heating and air quality appliances working like they should this winter. Their technicians are dependable, knowledgeable, and will provide a professional work ethic. That's their promise to you. Make them your go-to guys for all your heating and air quality systems. Look them up, deheatingcooling.com.
If you've been injured in an auto accident or have sustained other personal injury, you don't have to leave town to get good representation. Spear & Swanson attorneys at law in Pine City are experienced and will work on your case with no fee until they get you money. They also handle divorce and custody cases, criminal defense, including DWI and other legal matters. Spear & Swanson is your local law firm that cares about you. So if you need legal representation or advice, call 320-629-7586. Spear & Swanson, attorneys at law in Pine City.
Getting the kids to practice on time. Remembering if it's your day to bring snacks. Making it to the game with a clean jersey. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with auto owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. Auto Owners works with independent agents who answer when you call, so you can worry about more important things, like whether your kid is going to run toward first or third base. That's simple human sense.
Visit Town & Country Insurance today at towncountry-ins.com or stop in our offices in Finlayson, Hinckley, and Mora.
Are you interested in a technical degree that can quickly help you land your dream career? Or maybe you've always dreamed of going to a four-year college, but you'd like to start close to home. Either way, Pine Technical and Community College has you covered. PTCC offers more than 50 degrees in hot fields like healthcare information technology, advanced manufacturing, and business. PTCC is now accepting applications. Financial aid may be available. Online at pine.edu. Starting out or starting over, find your future at Pine Technical and Community College.
With high school sports season here again, Wellia Health wants to remind you that they want to help your athletes stay in the game. Sports medicine services are available at every Wellia Health campus. Whether it's the young athlete, the weekend warrior, or the accomplished athlete, injuries can happen. Get back in the game by calling the sports medicine experts at Wellia Health, 320-679-1313. Wellia Health. Live life well.
Back here on 100.9 FM, WCMP, the Hinckley-Finlayson Jaguars get the opening win of the season at home here over the visiting Braham Bombers, 55-46. Leading the way here for the visiting Braham Bombers, it was Caleb Schusted and Jonah Johnson both had 10. 8 points for Braden Graham, who had 8 points. John Mackey had 7. 5 for the guy who I did not, unfortunately, have on my roster sheet, number 23. He saw action in the first half, really didn't see any in the second half. He had 5 points. And then 3 points for Mac Nelson and 1 point for Jacob Tepley. Leading the way rebound-wise was Jonah Johnson. He had 11, so a double-double for Jonah Johnson. Congratulations to him. Again, these are super unofficial stats. I do my best to try and keep up with stats, but these are super unofficial, so these are not 100% accurate. But these are as close as I can get. Jonah Johnson, again, 11 rebounds, 7 for Mackey, 6 for Grams, 3 for Nelson and Schusted. They had 7 first-half fouls and 12 in the second half. On the other side for the Hinckley-Finlayson Jaguars, leading the way for them was Ashton Hosler. He had 19 points, 14 for Silas Lefebvre, then 7 for Trey Visser, 6 for Randy Scaff, 4 for Jordan Masterson, 3 for Lucas Kreft, and 2 for John Buchanan. Leading the way rebound-wise was Masterson with 6, 4 for Visser, 3 for both Buchanan and Lefebvre, and then 2 for Kreft, Hosler, and Scaff. Assist-wise, it was Lefebvre. He did a great job tonight moving the ball around and giving guys opportunities to take shots, and he had 5 assists, 2 for Kreft and 1 for Hosler. Then steals, you had 2 for both Lefebvre and Visser, then 1 for Kreft, Hosler, Scaff, and Masterson. They had all of those. 2 blocks, by the way, for Buchanan in this game as well in the second half, and then, or in the first half, and then 1 in the first half as well for Lefebvre. They had 8 first half fouls and 8 second half fouls as well. Now they went into halftime, did Hinckley-Finlayson, with a 27-26 lead. At the end of the first half, though, 15 seconds is all that the Braham Bombers had the lead for. 15. They went on a 6-0 run to take the lead for 15 seconds, and then hitting the last second shot was Masterson to take back the lead in the first half. They led, again, 27-26 at the end of the first half. Then going into the second half, Braham Bombers came out and they had taken the lead 35-31 early in that second half, but then the Hinckley-Finlayson Jaguars, they got back to within 2. They trailed 34-36 and went on a 12-0 run to lead 46-36, and then the Jaguars would just run away with it from there as they win this game 55-46. The Braham Bombers drop to 1-2 on the season. The Jaguars are 1-0 on this young season. The Bombers will next play host on Friday. This is their 3rd game of the week. They will play host to Rush City, part of a 3-game homestand, who they lost to twice last year, once in overtime. Then that next Tuesday on December 14th, that they will play host to St. John's Prep. And the next Monday they will host Swanville on the 20th. Coming up for Hinckley-Finlayson, this Friday they will be traveling up to Northwoods in Cook, Minnesota. And then next Tuesday they will travel up to Carleton, and next Friday they will host Aiken. So again, the Hinckley-Finlayson Jaguars get the victory here tonight, 55-46 over the visiting Braham Bombers. I want to thank all of you who tuned in tonight. Thank you so much for tuning in. Without you guys, we don't have a reason to be out here, so thank you so much for tuning in, whether you are listening on 100.9 FM, WCMPradio.com. Appreciate you tuning in so much here tonight. And, of course, thank you to all of our fine sponsors who sponsor this broadcast. Can't do it without them. Huge shout-out to the sponsors. Thank you so much for sponsoring this broadcast. For WCMP, I'm Ethan Game Day Gilman. One more time, the Jaguars get the victory over the visiting Bombers, 55-46. We'll take it back to the studio now. Thank you so much to Joshua Mirren for getting me on air. Have a great rest of your night, everybody.